Good morning, this is Jeff at Sewer Tech Northwest. We're at property address 32420 Southwest Armitage Road here in Wilsonville. We're located just to the left of the front doorway. That's as you look at the home from the street, and that's how I describe everything. Sewer clean out here sits smack dab in front of the hose bib here to the left of the door. It's a 3-inch ABS clean out. I know there's a lot of interest in the pipe diameter here. I think sounds like some bathrooms are getting added. So anyway, it looks like we're starting out in 3-inch. Water's currently running. We're going to zero out the foot counter here once we get the camera going the right direction. Keeps wanting to turn and go backwards. Okay. So we're transitioning here right out of the gate over to PVC pipe, and I'll get a better view of this on the way out when the line is fully drained. That joint shifted a little bit with that in combination with the fact there's water running right now. It's hard to look at that joint and tell if it's belling out to 4-inch there or not. I think it might be, but I don't want to make that call here until the line's drained. And sometimes with an offset, or at least a little bit of one, sometimes it can be hard to visually tell, but we'll see. Superbly clean sewer line. Whoever's living here is doing a fantastic job of keeping this line clean. Alright, so now we're into concrete pipe. Generally speaking, in this part of town, usually the concrete pipe is 6-inch diameter. So from that standpoint, right now I'm leaning towards the PVC is probably 4-inch, but they do make 4-inch concrete. It's just I see that less often in this part of town. Typically it's 6-inch. These people have some amazing living habits. This line has like 0 signs of life in it. I don't think I've seen a scrap of toilet paper yet. Most notably, oh, there's a little piece of something. Now we'll have to see how that looks here when the line's drained out. Can't tell if you've got some debris, some toilet paper damming up the pipe there, if there's a somewhat of an offset or something of that nature. And at that distance, I mean, you've seen how clean this line is. At that distance out there, a little bit of an offset is really not terribly concerning. You know, in a theoretical scenario where a blockage does occur, I haven't seen the joint yet, but you know, when you start getting issues that far out, unless they're severe, if a blockage does happen, generally speaking, the head pressure of the water building up behind it is going to knock things loose, assuming the line is not being abused with things like paper towels. But we'll see. When it comes to shifting pipe joints in concrete, I'm actually less concerned about the structural, or about the impact on flow as I am as to whether the joints are actually open to the ground or not. When you get stuff like that in plastic pipe, almost every time the joint and the pipe is all intact. It's just a settling issue. In concrete pipe, when you get settling problems, it at least in some cases, can be related to the joints wearing out and allowing groundwater to seep through, which leads to hydro erosion and the line settling. So we shall see what it's looking like there here in just a moment. We're going to go locate. We're at the main here at about 72 feet. And my foot counter just goofed up here. I bumped my camera funny. I'm actually going to make a second video link. Actually, scratch that. I think what I'll do is I'll just review the original video. The foot counter was working fine until I just moved my camera. I'll just review the video and do it based off the footage on that, so you just have one video to watch.
Years ago.
I located the camera head out on Armitage. Based on the locate I got there, the line looks like it jaunts under the driveway. And it stays kind of oriented to the left side. If you divide the driveway, if you're facing the driveway from the street, you've got the left and right side panels. It pretty much runs down the middle of the left side panel of the driveway, approximately, and it terminates on the far side of the road, just a couple feet from the curb. And I'll pull back in here and see what's going on about mid-span of the concrete. Again, just from a simple flow standpoint, where this junk is at here. Yeah, someone flushed a big chunk of wipes down the line is what that is. And being that it's made it this far out, that should continue on its way. That's way, I'll go back and review the video, but we're probably around 60, 65 feet into the sewer line. No gradation issue whatsoever. It's just someone flushed it's either a ginormous wad of toilet paper or possibly paper towel. But being that there's just one and it's that distance from the home, that's not a scenario where I'd recommend drain cleaning. It's just too far from the home. If something does hang up on that for a moment, the head pressure will knock that loose. The only scenario where I can ever see that progressing into something worse is if someone starts flushing a whole bunch of wipes and paper towels down the line, stuff that does not disintegrate. But that's what it would take to get it to that point. It's just abusing it like no tomorrow to get it to that.
My concern is
otherwise the concrete is absolutely spotless clean aside from that bit of debris, and that looks like something that came from somebody else unrelated to whoever the homeowner was. I can based on how insanely clean this line is, whoever's been living here, it does not appear they would ever flush something like that down the line. Alright, so I'm here at the transition, and so the joint there slipped a little bit. There's a tiny little bit of a slip, technically a little bit of an offset at the PVC, but it's created no lip in the flow line. My camera's upside down at the moment. Anyway, what I'm looking at here is as you approach the PVC, you can see how the black ABS here does a little bit of a step down, and then it transitions to PVC. So from what I can tell here, that line appears to be going from 3 to 4 inch pipe, just about maybe a foot past the clean out access. With that slip in the way there, it makes it hard for me to go 100%. I've been doing this 13 years. I've cambered almost 25,000 sewer lines. My eyeballs are pretty darn good at this stuff at this point. That would appear to be going to 4 inch pipe right there. So anyway, it looks like the PVC is 4 inch, and then you have a little bit of it looks like there's a little bit of a coupler there that transitions this thing to 4 inch. So anyway, I'm kind of going off the visual there and my experience with this part of town. Typically speaking, the concrete pipe out here is 6 inch diameter. Anyway, very nice looking sewer line there. Good flow end to end. The joint there, and again, if you bump all the pipe out in this house to 4 inch, you can come out here and correct that little bit of a slip. That can get dealt with at that point in time. It's not repair worthy on its own though. Not by a bajillion miles. The joint's intact. There's nothing there that's obstructing flow at all. Spotless clean line other than a big wad of... I can't tell if it's toilet paper or paper towels. Either way, it's way the heck out from the house, about 65 feet away from the home. And also appears to be in 6 inch diameter pipe, so you've got a lot of leeway there. What happens sometimes is these, someone will come in here, contractor or whatnot, use the bathroom or flush a bunch of junk down the toilet. And because it's a vacated home, there's very little water moving through the line after that. And what a lot of folks don't realize is your toilets will rarely convey everything from point A to point B in one flush, especially low flow toilets. So it takes a conjunction of toilet flushes, showers running, sinks draining. All that water helps to convey solids from A to B. So when a home goes vacant, it's very common to get debris hung up in the line like that. It only gets partway down line and just kind of gets stuck there. So once water starts moving through the sewer line again, that stuff should break up and move on its way. I hesitate to recommend drain cleaning on something like that, being that it's not causing a blockage or anything like that. It looks like it's recently gone down lines. That should move on its way. If that were, hung up right up next to the home, I might recommend you do something about it differently, but regular water flow through here should handle that fine, especially considering it's about 65 feet away from the home. So if you can imagine, theoretically a blockage occurring there, filling up 65 feet of pipe with water creates a massive amount of head pressure. So just don't abuse the sewer line with improper items. That stuff should break it up, no problem. Anyhow, sewer line is functioning properly at this time. I did do a quick locate there at the transition. That happens about a foot away from the cleanout access, and I'm getting about 2 feet deep. That's right as the line shoots underneath the little hedgerow here right in front of the cleanout.
Yeah.